Hello guys, this is the Drifting Lemur. Today we're back on another Minecraft Dungeons guide. Today I'll be doing a unique artifact showcase for the Flames of Nether DLC. I'll tell you where to get them and what I recommend with them. So guys, before we begin, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Let's start with the Spin Blade. Alright guys, so the first artifact we are reviewing is the Spin Blade. The spin blade shoots towards enemies and then ricochets back to you, damaging foes as it flies. It has a 5-second cooldown. So basically, if I do this, I activate the artifact. It's basically like a boomerang, so you can basically damage enemies twice. So that's pretty cool. You can get this artifact from the Nether Wastes and the Basalt Delta. Let's go check it out on the Mushroom Island. So I'm now going to attack some mushroom cows with this new artifact. I will definitely say if you have cooldown, it will be really great with the Spin Blade because it has a really short downtime. So I'll definitely say if you have some cooldown, that'll be very helpful. And if you have 3 of them, you can definitely do a lot of damage. I'm not sure if you can have all of them on at the same time, but definitely if you have 3, you can really deal a lot of damage. And sometimes can make it spin around you. That's what I'm trying to do, but it doesn't look like it's working. Well guys, the next artifact we're reviewing is the Thundering Quiver. Alright, so the Thundering Quiver gives you thundering arrows. It will give you about 5 and it has a 30-second cooldown. Personally, this probably is a pretty cool Thundering Quiver because of the electrified. So as you can see, I have the thing on and then it'll shoot. Now, I have the Pride of the Piglins on, so it's not going to do as good. But I'll definitely say with some Pride of the Piglins, you can definitely shoot pretty quickly, which means you can definitely have a lot more electrified. So as you can see, it has thundering on, essentially. You can get this from the Nether Wastes and the Soul Sand Valley. Time to check it out in the Soul Sand Valley. Alright, so just like the Spin Blade, I will recommend cooldown. Especially if you usually use your bow more. I'll definitely say I would have at least 3 of them so you can have 15 arrows of these. So I would definitely recommend Lightning Focus, I think it was called, on your armor with this, because then you can deal a lot more damage with your thundering. So I'll definitely say cooldown is pretty cool with this, and the lightning focus. So definitely I would recommend those enchantments on your armor with this. Now your ranged weapon, you could probably use something to help your thundering, like maybe some poison cloud, so that way you can deal extra damage. But other than that, this is a pretty nice artifact. In my opinion, not the best, but still good. Time to check out the Power Shaker. So guys, the next artifact is the Power Shaker. When the Power Shaker is activated, your next few melee attacks cause mobs to explode. Has an 8-second cooldown, and I'll definitely say it does some pretty cool damage. So let's go to the target dummy, and let's start attacking with the Party Shaker. It will allow you to deal 4 extra damage to mobs. Now, it can deal 4 extra damage, but it doesn't really explode. It says explode, but essentially what it does, it just deals extra damage to mobs by the scenes of things, because there isn't really an explosion like the Fuse Shot and exploding enchantment. So keep that in mind. It doesn't necessarily explode, but it just deals extra damage. I'll definitely say though, it's still a pretty nice weapon. And I'll definitely say it's pretty cool. Now, you can find this artifact in the Nether Flames of Nether DLC, as I said. So let's go to the mission select the missions. You can find it in the Nether Fortress and the Warped Forest. Now, Nether Fortress is a secret level, just like the Soul Sand Valley, so keep that in mind. I'm going to go to the Crimson Forest to show you some gameplay of this weapon, or artifact, technically. Alright, so we're now in the Crimson Forest to check out the new Party Shaker. So as you can see, it deals more damage. It does not seem to do an explosion, at least for me. So definitely, I would say that's kind of a big disappointment. But, I mean, you deal extra damage, so that's pretty nice. So, if you have 3 of them, I would say this is good. But you might want an Ironhide amulet. I mean, I can't really survive without my Ironhide amulet. But, I mean, if you can, then you can maybe have 3 power shakers. Now, cooldown, again, pretty nice with this weapon. Well, artifact, technically. It's pretty nice with this artifact, I'll say. Cooldown, maybe have 2 or 3 of them. That way it can deal extra damage. But another thing to keep in mind is that the party shaker will only have a 15-second usability. So after those 15 seconds, you will not be able to attack mobs with explosions. Then you have to wait for the cooldown to end and then reuse it. So keep that in mind if you have this artifact on, because it's not going to last forever until you use it. It has a cooldown, and then you'll have to wait for the cooldown. Now, it's only 8 seconds. That's not much. Well, guys, let's go check out the Blast Fungus. So the final artifact, guys, is the Blast Fungus. The Blast Fungus will roll in different directions, then explode and deal damage. It has a 6-second cooldown. This is by far my favorite new artifact in this game. Use some cooldown and have 3 of them, and you can basically have an infinite amount of explosions as long as you time it properly. So definitely, I would say this is probably the best artifact in the Flames of the Nether DLC. Now, obviously, you might think differently, but in my opinion, this is the best artifact. So if you have 3 of them and some cooldown, this can be really good. If you use all of them at the same time, it can deal an extreme amount of damage. So definitely, I would say this is amazing. It's basically a lot like the Satchel Elements, except this one just deals explosions. You can find this artifact from the Crimson Forest, which is a secret level, and the Warped Forest. So let's go in the Warped Forest and check out this new artifact. Alright, so now we're in the Warped Forest to try out the new Blast Fungus. I have 3 of them, and I'll definitely say if you have 3 of them with some cooldown, you can basically deal a lot of damage. Now, these mobs suck because they have thorns, so definitely I would say I'm probably going to die here. Yeah, now I'm going to die if you have Deflect. Well, that sucked. I'll definitely say, though, you can still constantly deal a lot of damage with this, especially if you time it. Now, I'm not timing it mostly because I'm about to die. This artifact can also deal a lot of knockback, which means in narrow corners can maybe knock enemies down from ledges, which will definitely allow you to have some more easier times. Because that way, if there's like, I don't know, maybe a Necromancer, you can maybe use your Blast Fungus, maybe knock him down, and boom, you no longer have to deal with a Necromancer. Maybe if you have a really strong enchanted mob, you can use this artifact and then knock it down, and then boom, no more enchanted mob you have to deal with. Now I'm gonna die again. That's just great. So yeah, that was the artifact. I'm now going to go to camp and end this video. So guys, see you at camp. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this Minecraft Dungeons guide. Before we leave, I'll summarize where you can find the artifacts and where you can find them. So guys, out of all the artifacts, I would say Blast Fungus is the best. Now, there's still some pretty cool ones. I would say use them. So let's start. The Spin Blade can be found in the Nether Wastes and the Basalt Delta. The Thundering Quiver can be found in the Nether Wastes and the Soulsand Valley. Then, the Party Shaker can be found in the Nether Fortress and the Warped Forest. The Blast Fungus can be found in the Warped Forest and the Crimson Forest. I'll definitely say these are some really interesting artifacts. I like them all, but I do like the Blast Fungus much more than all of them because of the explosion and the knockback. I'll definitely say this is a really powerful artifact, and if you find one, I would say do not salvage it unless you find a better one. So guys, this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Before you leave, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. This is the Drifting Lemur. I hope you enjoyed this Minecraft Dungeons guide. Goodbye.